The story begins with a girl named Casey who was sitting sad and alone at her friend's birthday party in a restaurant. She wasn't as bubbly as the other girls. She remained lost in her own thoughts. Anyway, after the party, Claire's father, whose birthday it was, started asking, "Daughter Casey, won't your father come to pick you up?" Casey told him that she doesn't have a father. She lives with her uncle. His car broke down a bit. You all can go. He'll come. But Claire's father didn't feel right leaving her there alone. He told Casey, "No problem. I'll drop you home." And now Casey, Claire, and Marcia all three sat in the car. Claire's father started putting some things in the trunk, but then suddenly an unknown man came near them. The trunk shut very forcefully and an unknown man came and sat in the driver's seat. Casey looked at that man with surprised and fearful eyes. This is definitely not Claire's father. Claire said to that man, stopping him, "Brother, you've sat in the wrong car." But Casey understood that something wrong was about to happen. That man put on a mask himself and sprayed something on Claire's and Marcia's faces. Both girls sitting in the back became unconscious. Casey tried to open the door very slowly, but then that man made Casey unconscious too. When Casey regained consciousness, she was in a room where there was very little light. Claire and Marcia had somehow composed themselves while scared. Their kidnapper, wearing glasses, came inside and looking at Marcia said, "I choose you," and immediately started dragging her along with him, seeing the opportunity. Casey whispered in Marcia's ear, "Pee yourself, pee." And then, within a few minutes, that man left Marcia back there crying. He looked very angry, and he shut the door with a bang. Marcia told Casey and Claire that this man's name is probably Dennis. "He took me there and asked me to take off my clothes and dance. But as soon as I peed myself, he left me back." To this, Casey explained, "I noticed this man has OCD. Dust, dirt, germs. People like this can't tolerate all that. They have a dirty habit of cleanliness. When he sat in your car, he came to kidnap us, but still he was cleaning things. It's a habit, right?" Claire, while composing the other two girls, started saying, "Don't be scared. Everything will be fine. We'll face him together." On the TV screen, news about 3 missing girls was playing. An elderly psychiatrist, Dr. Karen, was working on her computer. She saw that a patient named Barry had booked an appointment. Meanwhile, on the other side, Claire was making a plan that if the kidnapper comes, all 3 of them will attack him together. But Casey said that he had picked up Marcia so lovingly. "He's very strong, stronger than all 3 of us." Casey said, "I need a bit more time to understand him because I still haven't understood what this man wants." Casey said, "He'll definitely help you, but first let me observe things." Now at Dr. Karen's clinic, a man wearing a cap and an open coat came and knocked and entered. This man is Barry, but he looks exactly like Dennis, but his personality, very different. Dr. Karen already knows that this man has many personalities in his body. In total, 23 people live in this man's mind. Karen was suspicious that this wasn't Barry but some other personality because he was putting things in the right place. These behaviors are Dennis's. Anyway, the girls were still trying to peek through the door of that closed room. They saw that perhaps there was a woman with the kidnapper too. This woman was talking to Dennis, which according to the girls is the kidnapper's name. Suddenly, that woman came near the door and opened the room's door. The girls saw that this wasn't someone else but the same man. He had just worn girls' clothes and heels. Seeing this, those girls were stunned. They wondered why their kidnapper was in women's clothes. I've talked to Dennis. He won't trouble you." And then she closed the door and left. In that windowless room, Marcia and Claire started talking to each other that this man is crazy. He's talking to himself. He'll kill us. He won't let us go. Then, after some time, their kidnapper Dennis came into the room with a bucket. He was grumbling angrily. "Why is the bathroom so dirty?" He gave the girls cleaning supplies and said, "Keep this clean, okay." He also said, "I've promised Patricia. I won't even touch you, okay? Anyway, she's coming to give you food." And now he left the girls in this trouble wondering what they'll have to face. That same night, Claire and Marcia woke up Casey and pointed toward the door. That kidnapper was now wearing a yellow raincoat and sitting in front with the door open. He looked very happy. In this man's mind, there's also the personality of a 9-year-old child whose name is Hedwig. He kept saying the same thing again and again. "Someone is coming. You won't like it." This time the girls understood that this kidnapper isn't acting. Maybe he really has multiple personality disorder. The girls felt that this form is a bit naive and might easily fall for their talk. They started asking him questions to find out something. Someone told Hedwig, "Come here. I'll tell you a secret." Casey told Hedwig, "He's not coming for us, but for you." I heard Patricia and Dennis talking that this time they need a boy, 9 years old. Hearing this, Hedwig got a bit scared. He started saying repeatedly, "You're lying." But Casey said, "All 3 of us can help you fight against him. Just take us out of here." But Hedwig was still suspicious. He quickly ran toward the door and locked it from outside. Casey saw through the gap in the door that Hedwig had run away. He opened another door in a hurry too. Now the girls started thinking that there must be some way to get out of this room. They started tapping the room's walls to check. Then Claire suspected that maybe the ceiling wall could be hollow, and hanging upside down, she tore it with her heel. Then Hedwig suddenly started insisting on coming back into the room. Claire quickly removed the grill from the ceiling, while Marcia and Casey were holding the door. But right then, while knocking on the door, Hedwig changed into Dennis. Dennis had more strength than Hedwig inside, and he put force and opened the door. Claire, climbing on the ceiling, was seeing where that path from the ceiling leads. But then Dennis started chasing her, screaming. Claire quickly hid in an empty locker, but Dennis found her. Dennis moved Claire to another room and kept her there alone under his control. Then he went to Marcia's and Casey's room and fixed the ceiling. He threatened, "Now Claire will remain locked separately away from you two." He also told these two to pick up the trash. "Keep cleanliness here." Meanwhile, Dr. Karen was having a meeting on the computer with some of her colleagues. All those people were talking about dissociative identity disorder. The doctor explained that in this type of person's mind, different places are formed. Each personality has a different mind and even different strengths. After the conference, Barry came to meet Dr. Karen, but by now Karen had identified that this isn't Barry but Dennis. But Barry flatly refused that Patricia and Dennis aren't allowed to come out. Karen kept trying to know the truth, and Barry was getting very irritated by this when she saw Barry leaving on CCTV. Karen understood that her suspicion was absolutely right. One of the personalities, either Dennis or Patricia, had come to meet her in Barry's form on the other side, in the room. Marcia was saying, "Before something happens, we need to find a way out of here." Anyway, soon their kidnapper came to Marcia's and Casey's room in the form of Patricia. She prepared both of them and fed them food. She called both of them to the kitchen to eat because, according to her, both are good girls. They won't try to run like Claire. When Patricia was making food, Marcia picked up a stool and hit her hard. But then Patricia left and Dennis took control of the mind. He told Casey to lock herself in a separate room right now, and also locked Marcia in a separate room as punishment. Dennis angrily told Casey, "He will eat you raw. It'll be good for you. When someone treats you with love, you betray them." Anyway, the next day when Casey woke up, she saw Hedwig was lying behind her sleeping. Hedwig told her that Barry and Patricia are angry with you people. Now, they want to call the beast as soon as possible. But I'm different. I'm genuinely worried about you. On this, Casey asked Hedwig, "Have you ever seen the beast?" Hearing this, Hedwig got a bit nervous. Changing the topic, he said, "Can I kiss you?" Casey reluctantly agreed, because she wanted to take advantage of Hedwig's innocence to get out of there. After this, she told Hedwig, "You kiss very well." Then she told Hedwig, "We both should go to your room and dance, right? While listening to songs." But Hedwig said, "I have to go from here because Barry, a personality, has a meeting with Dr. Karen. During this session, Dr. Karen directly said, 'I'm not talking to Barry but to Dennis.' Am I right?" Dr. Karen insulted Dennis. She said, "You're a complete waste of a person. You like making girls take off their clothes and dance. Yuck. What a dirty act." Dennis, sitting in front still, wasn't ready to accept her words. But then Karen started saying, "If you do this, the other 22 personalities will come together and eliminate you." To this, Dennis directly said, "Except for me and Patricia, the other 22 personalities are completely useless. And I've come out only to save poor weak Kevin. Otherwise, the world will trample him. Kevin is actually this man's real name." Now, Karen tried to somehow get Dennis to reveal what this beast matter is all about. But Dennis didn't give any particular answer. After this session, where Hedwig came in control after going home, he took Casey to his room. Casey went inside a bit scared. Playing loud songs on the stereo, Hedwig started dancing. Casey said, "But you said you'd show me a window." But to this, Hedwig pointed to a drawing of a window he had made with his hands. Seeing this, Casey was completely broken. She thought there would be a real window. From there she could call out and tell someone that. She's trapped. Now Casey angrily started to leave, saying, "You don't have anything. You're a liar." But then, to appease her, Hedwig gave her a walkie-talkie. He said, "This is real." Casey tried to take advantage of this opportunity and said in the walkie-talkie, "Save us. We're trapped, but on the other side." The man who got the signal connected thought someone was joking. Casey tried to tell that man the whole story so he could get them out of there. But Hedwig took the walkie-talkie back and sent Casey to her room. After this, Dennis gained control of the body. He told Casey, "Once the night is over, the beast will be happy." He told Casey, "Soon the beast is going to wake up, and all you girls will become his food." Now, Casey remembered a glimpse of her childhood. She was roaming in the forest near her house when her Uncle John was hiding behind a big stone. He called Casey to him. Casey was alone in the forest at this time without her father. Uncle John was without clothes. He told Casey, "Take off your clothes. We'll both play a game. We'll both roam here like animals." Actually, this uncle used to do wrong things with Casey. When Uncle John came up wearing clothes, Casey pointed the gun at him. But John immediately snatched the gun from the child. Since childhood, her uncle had done wrong with Casey many times. That's why Casey remained quiet. She didn't laugh and play like other girls in the evening. When Dr. Karen checked her email, she found that Barry had sent many messages. He had written repeatedly, "We need you. We need you." Karen understood that Dennis must be suppressing the other personalities, and she came to his house to meet him. Dennis took Karen to Barry's room and talked to her a bit. During their conversation, Karen became sure that Dennis has now completely taken over this body. She was fully suspicious that Dennis must have kidnapped those 3 girls. As soon as she got a chance, Dr. Karen quickly went and opened the room's door. There she found Claire lying on the floor. But then Dennis came from behind and made Karen unconscious by making her smell medicine. Casey was trying to open the door from inside. And the other 2 girls were also looking for the right time to free themselves. Dennis bought a bouquet of flowers from a mall. When he was coming back home, Casey went into a room where a computer was kept. In this computer, she found videos of 23 different personalities. On the other side, Dennis reached an old railway carriage. And here he changed into his 24th personality. That is, the Beast. He became bigger and started walking like an animal, with the agility of an animal. He ran toward the house. When Karen regained consciousness, she started writing notes on Dennis's table itself. He reached inside the house in the form of a beast. Karen picked up a knife with blood eyes and tried to strike the animal standing behind. But the beast, having completely taken control of the mind, had made his body's skin very strong, because of which the blade broke and fell down. This animal squeezed Karen between its hands and killed her, after watching all the videos. Casey figured out where the keys were kept, and now she quietly walked through the hall looking for Marsha and Claire. In Marsha's room lay a blood-soaked, groaning corpse. Claire was alive in one room, but the beast found her and attacked. Then Casey found that note written by Karen on the table. She was just reading it when she was stunned to see that the animal was crawling on the walls. Kevin had written to keep saying his name repeatedly. Kevin Wendell Crumb. She started shouting his name loudly continuously. Now the real Kevin came out in the body. Kevin remembered how in childhood his abusive mother used to beat him. That's why Kevin's other personalities emerged. Kevin asked Casey after seeing Dr. Karen, "Who killed her?" To which Casey told him, "You did." Hearing this, Kevin felt very bad. He told Casey, "I had bought a gun. It's kept right here, but the bullets are downstairs. Kill me, Casey, kill me, kill me. I've become very dangerous." Now different personalities started coming out in front of Casey's eyes. When Hedwig came forward, Casey started looking for the gun. Now, Casey understood that soon he's going to turn into an animal again. She went downstairs to the room and started looking for bullets. But before Casey could load all the bullets, the animal appeared in front. The animal pulled her, and in all this, her sweater tore. Casey saw the opportunity and picked up the gun again and ran away, even with her injured legs. She somehow reached another corner. Now she had the gun pointed at that animal who was slowly moving toward her, just the way Casey's father had taught her to hunt, exactly like that. She aimed at the animal. Now Casey only had 2 bullets left, and somehow the bullets weren't having any effect on that animal. Now that animal started bending iron bars with its hands. Then suddenly its eyes fell on the marks on Casey's body. Seeing them, he understood that something wrong had happened with Casey in childhood, just like it had happened with him because of this. He left Casey alive right there and went away from there. The next day, a man came there who saw Casey trapped in a cage. He brought Casey out, and Casey somehow survived. When she got a chance, Casey told everything about how that man kidnapped them and killed 3 women in the basement. The world which didn't believe this much at first, was now fully convinced that dissociative identity disorder is really a disease that is very deadly. On the other side, that animal was still alive and was happy seeing that even bullets don't have an effect on his body. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.